What's up, everybody? This is the Booch, and welcome to episode 7 of my hit show, Booch Shoots On. And this week, we got a very special show for you guys. You can tell from the topic this week, we have Booch Shoots On, WWE being deemed an essential business. Now, the reason I've chosen this topic is because I've been getting a lot of questions about it. People have been asking me about it. So I thought I'd share my thoughts on it this week. And basically, before I do that, I'll give a little bit of a backstory here. For those of you who may not know, I mentioned in a while back the coronavirus canceled WrestleMania. It was supposed to be in Tampa Bay. And they decided to tape WrestleMania from the Performance Center, as well as Raws and SmackDowns leading up to it. And, of course, they recorded NXT from Full Sail University, because they still have access to the building. But people were wondering after those tapings if WWE would still be allowed to tape shows, because Florida was getting really, really strict with their lockdown. They pretty much locked down the entire state by this point. And people were wondering if WWE would actually have to take an off season, which they never do. You know, I was about to say rarely. I know I think about it. I've never seen WWE take an off season or any form of pro wrestling. And my personal opinion on this, if I can be very honest, I am 100% all for it. I love the fact that WWE is still putting on shows. I love the fact that they're still taking safety precautions with the people that are in there. And I love the fact that they're willing to go out there and entertain the audience during a time where we could use some entertainment, you know? Especially when, you know, there's only so many reruns of a TV show you can watch, and all the people out there that are saying they're bored, well, you got something cool to enjoy. And it's also giving the WWE an opportunity to experiment with a lot of new things they normally wouldn't do. Like when they did that Boneyard match with Styles and Taker, or the Firefly Funhouse match with Cena and Bray. If those matches were done that way in the stadium with a crowd, we'd have booted out of the building. I'd have booted out of the building. But because you're only entertaining audiences sitting at home, in fact, I was sitting in this very room watching WrestleMania on my computer monitors, and I'm watching this, and I was enjoying it. Because it's like I'm watching a TV show, because the only people you have to entertain are the people on camera. That's why we're seeing a lot more trash talking amongst the wrestlers. That's why they're playing more to the hard camera than anything else. You know, that's why they're not doing as many things to show off the crowd. All you have to entertain is that audience. And they're actually allowed to look into the camera while they do this, which, by the way, I'll bet you any amount of money it is pissing off Buff Bagwell right now to see these guys looking into the camera and talking when Buff was told he couldn't do that, even though that was his, you know, his big thing about his gimmick was looking into the camera. And WWE, they told him you can't do that. Meanwhile, here they are doing it all the time because they kind of have to. That's just, by the way, for anybody out there, that's just a little joke. Buff and I are friends. I am not trying to bash Buff Bagwell, so do not spread any bullshit rumors. But I will say that there are a lot of people that are against this, that have been mad and upset. I look at it like this. If Vince is taking every precaution necessary to make sure the superstars are okay, and they're physically able to go, they should work. As someone who's been deemed essential and forced to go to work every day, I have no sympathy for people who are forced to go to work. I don't. I know there's people out there who want me to, but I'm sorry, I can't. I'm incapable of feeling sorry for anyone, and I seriously mean anyone, who is physically able-bodied to go to work, whose place of business is still open, and doesn't want to go. Now, WWE has said that anybody that doesn't want to attend these events doesn't have to. If they're afraid or they're uncomfortable, they can stay home. And to those people who are afraid and uncomfortable, I want to say, you're a pussy. I'm sorry, I have to say that. Now, just to be clear, if you're not going to work, whether you're a WWE superstar or a regular person, if you're not going to work because your actual place of business has been shut down and you've been laid off and you're not able to go to work, you're not a pussy. You're good. If you're not able to go to work because you're actually sick, God forbid you have the virus, or you just have a really high fever or something, or you're just sick and you don't want to go to work, you don't want to risk spreading anything to people, because they tell you if you're sick, stay home. So obviously, if you're sick and you don't go to work, you're not a pussy in this case. And if you're obviously, like I said before, if your place of business shut down, that's different. I gave Roman Reigns a free pass because of his immune system and the leukemia and all of that. Or when Dana Brooke had a high fever, or when Rey Mysterio had a high fever. I gave them a free pass. You have a good reason for not going to work. But if you are able-bodied and you are in great health, and your place of business is open, but you're not going to work because you're scared, you're a pussy. Sorry, you are. I can't feel sorry for you. Because I have to man up and go every day. I do. You know? My quality of life has not changed. And trust me when I tell you, I would rather be home. I know it sounds crazy. I would rather be home. Why would I rather be home? It's not because I don't want to work. It's not because I'm lazy. Because I'm definitely not lazy. There's a lot of words you can use to describe me. People do it all the time here on the internet. One thing you can never, ever call me is lazy. That will make me madder than anything else. You can say a lot of other things about me. Lazy ain't one of them. I don't want to go because I don't want to get this freaking virus. And what makes me madder is the fact that not only am I going to work and risking getting the virus, I also am risking it for people who are buying non-essential crap. Because me personally, I have yet to see anybody walk in to the Lowe's I work at and buy anything essential. I haven't seen it. My coworkers might have seen it. Some managers might have seen it. I, the Booch, have not seen it. It has yet to happen. I see people buying useless shit like plants. That's what the fuck I see. So that's why I'm not happy. If they were at least buying essential stuff, you know, maybe then I could take a little bit of pride in being at work during this time. The only thing that's making me go is two things. The money and my work ethic. That's it. That's all that's making me go. That's it. I'm manning up, I'm going to work, I'm making my money, and that's it. And trying not to snap. That's pretty much what I do. Well, I basically do that every day, but during this virus, it's been amplified. They're on edge, and I'm on edge, and everybody's crazy, and whatever. But, yeah, I believe you're a WWE superstar, and you're in perfect health. Your ass needs to be on Raw every Monday if you're a Raw superstar. You need to be on SmackDown if you're a SmackDown superstar. If you're on NXT, get your ass to NXT. I don't feel sad for anyone that's like, I'm uncomfortable, so I'm going to stay home. Shut up. You guys make plenty of freaking money. And most of y'all are overpaid anyway, so get your ass to work. That's how I feel. You man up, you go to work. That's why when The Miz got sick and went to the taping, everybody gave him crap. Everybody expected me to give him crap because I've been anti-Miz my whole life. This is actually the one moment where I respect The Miz. He manned up and he went to work. Love that about him. Loved it. Miz has my endorsement for that. That put me a win category for The Miz. All right. He respects the business and he's a man. I love that. So, like I said before, I support WWE being essential during this time because I believe if you're a true wrestling fan, you are happy about this. You know? I don't want to watch a bunch of reruns of wrestling. I want to watch Raw every Monday night. I want to watch SmackDown every Friday night. I want to watch AEW and NXT. Now, granted, AEW hasn't been, you know, technically it was WWE that was deemed essential, but they gave it to all of wrestling, you know, so I guess when they said WWE, they meant all of wrestling because the mainstream media so far only recognizes WWE. Hopefully someday they'll recognize AEW as well, but I love the fact that AEW is on TV. In fact, as we speak, AEW is about to start right now, and I'm here talking to you guys, so that's, you know, so I'm actually excited that I'm going to get to watch it as soon as I wrap this video up. But, you know, I believe if you're a true wrestling fan, you're happy about this. If you're not happy about this, you take your wrestling fan card out of your wallet right now and pass it forward. Because you're not a true fan. No true wrestling fan should be upset that wrestling is still happening. That they're still willing to go out there. Because one of the things we always talk about when it comes to WWE superstars is how they put their bodies on the line to entertain the fans. That's why wrestlers get the respect that they get. It's not just because they're athletes. It's not just because, you know, they're on the road so many days out of the year and everything else. It's because of the risks they take to entertain us. That's what we're cheering about. That's where their respect comes in. Because, yes, they're athletic, but it's a predetermined, you know, sport. It's the finish is predetermined. So you can be the most athletic person in the world, but if you're supposed to lose, you're gonna lose. This is the way it is. You know, there's somebody in the back decide whether it's Vince McMahon or Tony Khan. Someone in the back is telling you whether your hand goes up or it goes down. What makes you earn your respect in the business is the fact that you're risking putting your body on the line. And I can think of, and so to me, if you're willing to jump off a freaking scaffold, if you're willing to jump off a ladder or a WrestleMania sign or a Titantron or whatever, I see no reason why a virus that's basically a mild version of the flu, from what I've been reading, that shouldn't scare you. Especially when every precaution's being taken and you're taking the same precautions everybody else is. Just, wash your hands. That's what we've been told, right? Wash your hands. That's the foolproof plan. So, I just want to say that as a wrestling fan, I'm proud that WWE is still putting on shows. And like I said, they're taking the necessary safety precautions, and I'm grateful that they are. And, to the wrestlers that are actually brave enough to go out there and do that work and, aren't staying at home because they're scared. I have more respect for those guys than anybody else on the roster. Everybody, if I see a wrestler on my show every week, on those shows every week, they have my respect. The ones that are sitting at home and waiting for the virus to go over, they don't have my respect. They don't. The only time you should be sitting at home is if Vince McMahon says you're not working this week. That's the only excuse. Or Tony Khan says you're not on this week. If your boss tells you you're not working because you're not scheduled, that's fine. I have a schedule like everybody else. Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'm usually off from Lowe's. So those 2 days, I'm in the house. I'm home. But the other days of the week, I'm there. So obviously, if you're not scheduled to work, that's another exception I will make. But if you are scheduled to work, get your ass to work. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel about it. And like I said, because I'm essential and because I'm putting my life at risk just going out and doing this, it makes me hard for me to feel sad for people that are being forced to go to work, because I'm being forced to go every day. And like I said, I don't see it as a noble cause because the people that are out here shopping aren't doing the right amount of shopping that you were told to do. If you needed something important, that's why you leave the house. Like if you ran out of groceries, or obviously if you come into Lowe's because you want a refrigerator, that's an essential item. You're going to need a refrigerator to cool off your products. Or if your washer or your dryer is broken, obviously you got to do that to wash clothes or wash things in your house. Because obviously, even though you're in your house, things might get dirty. And plus, you can only sit around in the same clothes for so long before eventually they will stink up the place. So I get the logic behind those things. But when I see people buying plants and soil and mulch, it makes me so angry. Because I know none of this is important. And the fact that you're putting my life and a lot of other people's lives at risk that work in that store because you're bored is what makes me angry. So, and I can ramble on about this all day, and I can tell that I am. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say one more time, thank you to the WWE, thank you to AEW, and thank you to all the wrestling companies. Impact Wrestling, Ring of Honor, if they're still doing things, or New Japan, if they're still doing things. I don't know. I don't watch Ring of Honor. I don't watch New Japan. I don't watch Impact much either, but I know they got tapings because it pops up on the dirt sheets that I read. So I just want to say thank you guys for everything that you're doing during this time. Now, that being said, some of your shows have been great. Some of them have not. I'm still going to critique them the way I would any other show. But I am taking into account the fact that you're adjusting certain things because there is no crowd. And I'm grading you on that curve when I review your shows on the Boochcast or the Male Soap Opera Moment. So I want you all to know that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, wrap up this episode of Booch Shoots On. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to be notified so you never miss another episode of Booch Shoots On, as well as other additional Vinny Bucci YouTube content. Also, check out my video on the merch store. I've got plenty of info to give you guys on that. I have the merch store open, storefrontier.com/Vinny Bucci, aka The Booch, is my merch store. You can check out. I got 3 t-shirts up there right now, 1 coming out on the 27th. I think it might be out at the time that you're listening to this one now that I think about it. So I got 3 t-shirts up there right now. I need a minute to think about that because I tape things in advance, so sometimes I forget shit. Sorry. But anyway, here's what we got. I have my Booch 365 says I just ate your car t-shirt up there, available to check out. I have the Pizza Baby t-shirts up there for you guys to check out. And of course, I have a new t-shirt that just came out this past Monday because the pollen shirts expired. It is now called Essential Lives Matter t-shirt. So get your hands on Essential Lives Matter t-shirt. The campaign is running from now till May 18th. So you got till May 18th to purchase your Essential Lives Matter t-shirts. They're available for a limited time. The Boots 365 and the Pizza Baby shirts will always be up there. They're also available in kids t-shirts, hoodies, sweaters, tank tops, and baby onesies you can check out. Also, as far as the Essential Lives Matter goes, I only have t-shirts and tank tops for those. I don't have anything else for that. So make sure you guys check them out at the Store Frontier site. Check back soon for a new episode. Until then, pizza, baby!